Alrighty, now hopefully everything works, because if not, then it's just like every other stream I've ever done, and realistically nothing has changed. But hopefully that's not going to be the case right now. I don't think I want to run this one. Let's do... No. This one will do for a little bit. No? Screw it, no music. How we doing, guys? Sorry. I didn't know if I wanted to go with the music or if I wanted to go with just doing this without it. I did not know, but here we are. So, how is everybody doing today? It's Monday, so the day kind of sucks, but it's not the worst thing in the world, realistically. The Real Lock says, why is everybody doing call-in streams? I have no idea. I know that Mr. Atheist wants to do a call-in stream / show type deal. I know Vice Rhino is starting to do it. I've done them before, realistically, so nothing's really changing that much on my end. But, Though I don't do them as often as I honestly should. Yes, I still have my normal Discord. My standard Discord still exists. But this type of call-in thing is going to use its own separate Discord, because my Discord is password protected and under the supervision of Raz. For ease of access, I don't want that to be the case for just a call-in stream, but on the flip side, the call-ins themselves, since they're going to be going over Discord, once the stream is over, that Discord implodes. So if you want to continue conversations, you can't do it there. You're going to have to go on the regular Discord and partake in all the rules and everything that exist there. Which sucks for some people, because I know some people have been banned, but realistically, the rules are there. You can read them, and you will know when, why, or how anything happens. I've learned... Me and Raz learned a long time ago, if you have a religion and politics Discord and you do not maintain it with some kind of iron fist, it goes off the rails very quick, and it's not good. Not good for anybody involved, not good for me, not good for you guys, and certainly not good if there happens to be somebody who wants to mean ill, who gets in through. Password protection helps a lot with some of that. You know what? We will just go ahead and do this. Music is good. And I'll just dial it down a little bit. There we go. So yeah, no, if you're wanting to call into the stream today at all, then the link will be sent repeatedly throughout the day, every 3 to 5 minutes or so. But if not... Hold on, why is everything being so silly? If you are wanting to call in, then use the link that just popped in via Nightbot. Elsewise, you can check the description. You'll be able to see the link there as well. But the other rule is that if you are calling in, then it's for only about 5 minutes at a time, so we can get to the next caller afterwards. When you come in, you will be hopping into the waiting room, and then you will be manually moved from the waiting room into the Let's Chat room. Once you're in the Let's Chat room, then we can have our conversation there. But again, only for about 5 minutes or so we can get to the next person there. We're going to be live about an hour and a half-ish. That's the plan. That's the goal. So let's hope that we can keep things decent, civil. I just realized that Jay's Reviews released a new video, and now I want to watch it, but I can't because I'm currently here. Which sucks. Is that why you yeeted the old Discord due to implosion? Jake, we still have a Discord. Like, we built a new one a long time ago, but that Discord's been in existence for a very long time now. If you are watching on Twitch, then you are going to have to get the link elsewhere. One sec. I can get you the link, because if you are watching on Twitch, then the link as it is before will not work. So, give me just 1 second, and I can get that link for you. So, give me just a second. Sorry, this is taking so long. It shouldn't be taking this long, But I did not prepare adequately as much as I thought I did. So let me go ahead. There we go. Is the stream going to get invaded and taken over again? It depends on how the day goes. Realistically, we shouldn't have that issue. Dang it, allergies are acting up. I'm so sorry about that, guys. So, for those who don't know, I am allergic to dogs. And right now, Growlithe is still okay. But my family, who we take Growlithe down to every day so that she can socialize with the other dogs there, none of the dogs there are hypoallergenic. So when I go there, I have to take allergy meds, and I forgot to today. So that didn't work out. Also, we might have a special guest coming in, and by special guest, I mean... well, not really a special guest. Person is special in some way, but certainly not a guest. Here you go. Person named Sam Sleaze, who apparently has an issue with me. And I let them know that if they are desperately wanting to have that kind of issue, then we can have conversations related to that. So we'll see how that goes. If in reality, this person is the person to thank for it being a call-in live stream right now. So, also it shows that there are only 20 watching now, where it was 40 before. Sorry about that. I don't know what I did to tick everybody off. Oh, and now it's 56. That was a glitch then. Says 56 on your guys' end. Yep, that's fair. YouTube's weird. Sometimes on the live screen on my end, YouTube will be like, hey, you've only got this many people watching. Alrighty. So, that all said, I'm going to go ahead and get to the first caller here, or first person calling. Gay Spider, how you doing?
Good. I actually got a question about if there's going to be any more stuff about the NIFB and fighting more against the NIFB again in the future.
Sure thing. So where the NIFB is concerned, it basically boils down to if they're going to be doing another major push or conference.
Yeah.
And if somebody sends me any information on them, like if there's new developments. The thing with the NIFB, the big push before was that they were getting ready to do the Make America Straight Again conference down in Florida. When right now, though, the next conference that I have my eyes on is not a NIFB conference. It is a conference called God's Voice, and that one actually is going to have a doctor there speaking who is the leader of the American Pediatricians Organization. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them.
Yeah.
The Organization of American Pediatricians, it's some organization of those words, but my brain is farting on it. They're basically a organization of not actually pediatricians, but for the most part, like really angry transphobic and homophobic parents that try to argue that conversion therapy and stuff is good. So right now, my sights are on them, but if the NIFB does something that is like the Make America Straight Again conference again, then I'll be putting my eyes on them and hopefully me, Jimmy, and Shannon, and everybody else in a big way again. The problem is right now, though, since they aren't, from what I understand, I could be wrong, but from what I understand, they're not doing anything like that at the moment. But there is still certainly stuff from them. Like if somebody says, hey, Steven Anderson did this sermon recently and said a bunch of points that need to be debunked, then obviously I'll be tackling like individual members from there. But as far as a push against the NIFB total, that one will require them doing something that needs push back, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Is there any other questions you had by chance?
Still
got about 2 or 3 minutes.
I think that was actually all. So it was nice talking to you. Have a good day.
Hey, nice talking to you as well. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
All right, well, that was interesting. So, Haber just says that they know that group. The American College of Pediatricians, that's what it is. Wow. How was that gone? How did that not exist in my head when I started that? Oh, yeah, no. American College of Pediatricians. That's a fun and problematic group. Not fun isn't actually the word. I don't actually think fun is what we would be using there. But with that said, I think we will go ahead and move to the next person. Let's see. Doop. Haberja, how are you doing?
Sorry, 1 second. I'm muting your stream, so I'm not hearing you twice.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I actually have dealt with the American College of Pediatricians a couple times on my channel because I do the trans advocacy on my channel, and of course they are very anti-trans. So,
oh yeah, they're the types of people that go, these liberal doctors, they're trying to cut up our kids' genitalia when they're 5 years old. It's like, no, dude, they're literally just trying to get them to talk to a therapist, and then like, if things are still bad at age 12, they'll put them on puberty blockers for about 5 years. And then, like, once they're about to hit adulthood, then they start making decisions. But, like, the fuck are you talking about?
and I think the reason they kind of go under the radar is because their name is so similar to the actual legitimate group of pediatricians. I think it's like the American Academy of Pediatrics or something. But there's a legitimate group that has such a similar name, so people just assume that it's the same group, and it's not. But my main question was, are you going to ever do one of those gaming live streams where you have people come in to come talk with you while you're gaming, like you used to do?
So I'd like to, but I would need to get a larger Twitch following, because the issue is Twitch is where I do my gaming streams now, because when I used to do the type of gaming streams you're talking about, actually it's where me and Jake3D, who's in the Twitch stream right now, had some of our first disagreements that led to us having conversations down the road. The problem is that I used to do those streams on YouTube where there was an audience and people, like, bringing people in requires there to be an audience there so people know, because if you've got 50 watchers, maybe 2 to 3 of them want to talk, like over voice. So I would need to get a larger following on Twitch, and then I'd love to do that again, because I could do it when I was doing it on YouTube, but I can't do my gaming streams on YouTube because of how much the algorithm screwed me when I did that. And so if it's a choice between destroy the channel so that I can have conversations with people I want to have conversations with, or bide my time on Twitch until I can have those conversations there, then I'll have to do the bide my time on Twitch thing.
If you do that again, are you going to make sure that you are priority speaker? Because I remember that being a bit of a chaotic thing when you were doing it before.
Yeah, next time it's going to definitely be set up to where I'm priority speaker, because before, I remember all we had to do was get like 1 or 2 nationalists in there, and suddenly it was just a clusterfuck.
Yeah, that I remember that being a big issue, and then you sometimes were having to drop the streams because you just weren't being able to be heard at all. So that was my main question, and I wanted to comment on the American College of Pediatricians because I've dealt with their junk.
Yeah, they're interesting, and because their name sounds so legit, it's so easy for people to like put them as their source and go, look, even the American College of Pediatricians agrees with my stance on trans issues. And I'm just like, yes, but that's like saying the NIFB agrees with your stance on trans issues. Most people aren't going to understand there's functionally no difference there. But people who are in our sphere on YouTube are like, no, those things are bedfellows.
If you're doing the American College of Pediatricians and a video and stuff about them, it might be good to follow up with the LGB Alliance, because they're another group that tries to disguise themselves as accepting, but they're actually an anti-trans group.
Yeah, by claiming that they're LGB alliance, I'm immediately going to assume TERFs. Like
Pretty much.
I'm just going to instantaneously. It's like the freaking it's like the thing where the alt-right gets like Milo Yiannopoulos and they're like, "Look, we're accepting now. We have gay people." And you're like, "Okay, yes, but what about trans people?" Yeah, not those ones. It's like, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they are. They're like, lesbians, gays, and bis are okay, but trans, no. Yeah, they're another one that I've been dealing with lately with my trans advocacy stuff.
Like, and it's the same thing where like there's we got like 1 minute left, but there's like the 2 or 3 comparisons that you see in each and every one. Like if it's somebody who's against gays, there's the comparison to bestiality. There's the comparison to like destroying the family unit, and then like when you move on to trans people, there's comparisons to people who want to destroy the family unit. When you get to trans people, it changes. But it's the same thing where they have this handful of comparisons, but it changes into they're mutilating children. Like, but okay, first of all, you're talking about circumcision. Like, it's the same thing where there's just a handful of talking points and bad rhetoric that get parroted by a bunch of people who claim that others are NPCs, and it's really weird.
The thing we say a lot in the trans community is they have one joke.
Apache helicopter.
Yep.
That's the one joke they have. Apache helicopter or variations thereof.
Yep, that's the one joke.
Yep. I'm sure they've got 1 or 2 more, but they're not that many.
I mean,
Really
they've got a few like dog whistles, but they're not to the point yet where people can readily call out most of their dog whistles. There's like the 41%, and the other one that's been real popular lately is the clownfish dog whistle.
Clownfish? I mean, I'm sure that like is close to the Clown World one really quick.
It's actually not. It's a slight saying. So they say, "I'm not a clownfish." They're saying because clownfish can change their sex.
Oh.
Yeah. So since I'm not a clownfish and I can't change my sex, then you can't change your sex either because you're also not a clownfish.
Gotcha. I see what and the response to that generally is just a very quick, well, you're right, but we're not talking about sex right now. we're not talking about biology, my dude. I'm
not attracted to you in that sort of way. I'm sorry.
You're just in the wrong, you're in the very, very wrong side of the conversation. That said, we have hit the end of the 5 minutes there. A couple things. First of all, I see that we have Sam Sleaze in the live chat. So, Sam, you should see a link to Discord. That link should pop up for you at some point soon. If you don't see it, then go ahead and check out the description. That will take you into the Discord, and from the Discord, I can drag you into from the waiting room into Let's Chat, and then we will have a conversation for about 5 minutes or so. But that's there. So if you want to continue our disagreement we had in the comments section, this is where the tea is spilled. Like right here. So
it was great talking to you. I haven't talked to you since the last time you did a live chat video game thing, so
fair
I hope
enough.
to talk to you again in the future.
Same, Aberja. See ya. Semperdub, how you doing? Your mic is muted, by the way. You might want to right-click on it and unmute your microphone. There we go. Of course, now I can hear myself through your stuff. That's... Here, try saying something? Okay, well, I guess Semperdub is out for the time being. Whenever they get back in, I'll go ahead and give them priority to pop down. But till then, we'll go ahead and pull down Locke. How's it going, Locke? I'm imagining this is real Locke, as opposed to fake Locke. Then again, I see that profile picture, and I'm fairly certain I know.
All right, there we go. Sorry, I was.
It's all right. How's it going, Locke?
All right, so yeah, I just muted your stream and all that. I've got a bit of a question, I guess. Well, question story, whatever. This morning, I was minding my own business, and I got a PragerU ad about privilege, and they had their token black guy talking about how I did it so you can too. I decided to skip the ad because I was just trying to eat breakfast, but it kind of got me thinking. There aren't really that many people in the atheist community or just speaking that are non-white. Like, I'm, you've met me before, I'm a black guy in the fans, but I don't really see many creators who are talking about this, addressing some of the stuff, like when you had the guys that you were talking to, who you were addressing about like slavery in the Bible and all that. There are not very many non-white content creators like this. So I was either wanting to find more, like I kind of want to throw my hat in the ring, but I don't really want to. So I'm kind of curious if there are more guys out there.
So off the top of my head, I could not name one. And I think that that's kind of a problem because there's certainly a perspective there that we're missing. If you don't want to throw your hat in the ring, then obviously don't. YouTube is very taxing on your mental health. But I will say this, if you did want to start that, I would be more than willing to help you get that started up. But I think also it's because a lot of the content creators who are black end up falling into one of two categories. A lot of times they either end up being political content creators. I believe TJ1 is one that comes to mind.
Yeah, I was thinking about him, yeah.
Like they end up being political content creators or in the same vein of being political content creators, they're on the other side completely where they are the token black conservative person. And those ones get under my skin a little bit, like the guy who was on the guy who was on the Rubin Report and like found out he was gay and then was like, I touched his hand. Like you get those ones as well, and I don't know what it is, but there are in the atheist community in general minority voices of any category you don't see a whole lot of. It's something that really I want to it needs to be addressed, because like I grew up going to a predominantly black Christian, actually not predominantly, like I didn't really have any white friends until I was in high school, because it's that level of like a black neighborhood that I was in school in. So yeah, I mean, like we have a lot of really, really bad views in our community that need to be discussed. I have an uncle who straight up like pushes PragerU videos, and I actually got into an argument with him over Christmas because just showing my little cousin a video. It's these kinds of things where I'm like, we need more voices, and if it's not me, we need someone, and I don't want to do it, but like someone needs to. So Dragnaut was brought up in the chat. Dragnaut would be a good example. The only problem, though, is that Dragnaut is prolific within the atheist community in that he's connected to a lot of people in the atheist community in one form or another. But it's a lot like how if you're not part of the atheist community and I drop the name Steve McRae, you don't have much to go off of. But if you're outside of the atheist community and I drop the name Seth Andrews, Matt Dillahunty, Aaron Raw, one of those you might have actually heard of. If I say, like for instance, if I'm watching The Right Opinion, I'll see on The Right Opinion, there's the episode that he did dedicated to dedicated to Girl Defined.
Yeah, they don't talk about Jimmy or anyone. Yeah.
But they do show like Genetically Modified Skeptics logo during part of it when he's talking about people who responded to these people. It's one of those things where, like, if you are in the community, like, steeped in the community in some way, eventually you will hit, or, like, a lot of it comes down to, like, the great debate community. You will learn who people like Dragnaut are, people like Steve McRae are, people like Nate Brody. But those are people who you're not going to know unless you're already in the community, and I think that seems to be more what you're talking about.
Yeah,
is that it's not just this niche content creator does exist. It's that no, they're there could do with some more representation there.
Yeah, beyond just T1J, you know? Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
I love the guy, but yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's not even that I want there to be a bunch of people going, well, as a black guy, insert identity politics here.
Yeah.
Because I would like to see more people like I'm not sure if you've seen Benjamin Dixon before.
No, I'll look him up. I just pulled up on Dragnot's page.
So Benjamin Dixon does political commentary almost pretty much exclusively, but he doesn't actually try to do the identity politics side of things. I've rarely heard him say, you know, as a black man, insert point here. It's more
Yeah.
just going, no, here's my perspective because this is important.
Oh, I understand. Like, I know in the chat sometimes I will specify as a black guy because I don't even have a profile picture. I'm just a thumbnail. So
Yeah.
I want to kind of preface, oh, I'm saying this or I'm making this comment, but coming from that area, not just some guy talking out of his butt. But yeah, no, totally. I get that, and it's something that I definitely want to talk about. I know in general, my actual area of study is international affairs, not really domestic politics at the same time. You know, I'm a black dude from the South who's an atheist, so these are still some things I kind of have to deal with.
Yeah, and that is fair. That said, we are at the end of our 5 minutes there,
Oh, no,
but
thanks for taking the time out.
I do have one question for you. Have you tried Legends of Runeterra yet?
Is that the League like trading card game?
Yes.
One of my classmates, he was telling me about that. I think I'm probably gonna jump on the beta. Yeah.
Okay, cool, because I just started the beta about like 3 days ago, and I've been enjoying it so far.
All right, I'll totally add you if you want.
All right, sweet. With that
Cool.
said, we'll go ahead and get to the next caller, which is going to be Semperdub, because Semperdub has been waiting. So, that said, Locke, I will see you later. I just pulled him in after he unmuted the stream. Oof. Sorry about that. All right, that said, Semperdub, how's it going? Hopefully we can get this working this time. Last time we had some audio issues.
Yeah, you said you could hear yourself last time.
Yes, and this time I can hear you loud and clear. How's it going?
Okay, I put my headset on. I'm doing great. How are you?
I can't complain. Having a good day thus far. Took the dog out for a walk and to socialize twice today, so hopefully I'm not going to get barked at up until tonight when she wants to go back outside to go to the bathroom. So that's the. I also my day began on a low note though. I recorded a response to No Bullshit, which is usually a way to make my day begin on a low note. But that said, how was your day?
Good. I'm a truck driver. I finished my day. I'm somewhere in the middle of Virginia in a town I don't even know the name of. So, good all in all. And I get to call in and talk to you, which is pretty cool.
Hey, fair enough.
I'm someone who only, I'd say in the last 9 months, kind of found the atheist community and grew up Catholic and like wanted the whole nuclear family thing with the going to church and everything, and now I'm an atheist. And you know, you and Jimmy Snow and Genetically Modified Skeptic, and I can't even name everybody, but you know, just opened my eyes to you know, skeptical thinking and questioning things, and I just wanted to say thank you. My only problem is that nobody in my family knows.
That is fair. I know that with my family, some of the people on my dad's side of the family know, and my mom knows, and my grandma, I don't think she knows, but I also think she knows. She's dropped some hints of like kind of around Christmas time, kind of the hints of trying to go, hey, you should definitely turn back to the Lord, those type of things. Not in so many words. And I don't want to go into details over what she did / said perfectly. But yeah, no, I know what it's like to not want to have those conversations with your family for one reason or another, and it can feel kind of awkward being in the closet where you're like, I'd imagine you've had the experience of somebody turning their head and going, "Hey, would you like to say grace?" And you're just like,
Oh yeah, just being in a situation now, like, and I kind of feel like a jerk sometimes when they're, when someone's just like, "Hey, we're gonna say grace," and I chastise myself every time because I get this kind of like, ha ha ha, on the inside, like, I'm superior to you, and then I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, it's definitely a good idea not to get that, because the last thing there's an awkward thing that happens when like the word that me and Ocean use for this, and a few other people in the debate community use for this, is the white belt atheist, where they're the atheist that wants to have like either the conversations with people or like almost a superiority complex thing, and then they meet a theologian who's been studying philosophy for 10 years, and that conversation's always really awkward. It's really strange.
No, and I don't actually believe that I'm necessarily superior because I have a certain opinion or because I think I'm privy to, that I've had some revelation that I understand what I believe is the truth of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just that, and my family's not overtly religious. I just grew up Catholic. I went to Catholic school. But none of my family members now are very religious. So it's not something that I have to deal with on a very regular basis. But when it does come up, like I go down to see my dad and my stepmom, prays before dinner, it like catches me off guard. And like I feel awkward.
Yeah, it's a lot like when somebody says that don't worry, God has a plan, like right after a family member died, and you're just like, I'm not sure if that was the best thing to tell me right now.
Like, oh yeah, that helps me not at all.
Yeah, basically.
But and it's tough because like my fiance, we actually have had this conversation when we were younger, and we were on again, off again, and I had said, and this is like right after high school, younger. I'm like 34 now, but I had said something to the effect of I wanted to find a good church girl. I laugh so hard at that now.
You want to find a girl who go to church and read her Bible.
Yeah. And raise the kids in the way of the Lord, and I said all those things, and I haven't told her, and religion doesn't really ever come up. I mean, she's not even that religious; she's more spiritual, so it makes it even easier. But like, she even brings that up, that quote sometimes, and it's hard to tell her. I haven't had the gall to tell her, like, that I've kind of been going through this existential crisis because I still have all the leftover, like, emotions and reactions, from the first 33 years of my life, that still cause me conflict, even though my rational mind is in a different place. And that's something that I haven't been able to share with her, or like if I'm, having this existential, mire that I'm in, not being able to talk to her about it, or, just like being like, oh, I'm just feeling poopy,
Where you have to
totally lying to her.
You just have to let her know at random points, like, no, I'm not feeling well, but the actual details, that's a conversation you're not quite ready to have.
Yeah, I just don't know, like, because I feel like it's gonna be like, what? You? Like, I've always been so spiritual and kind of, into the ethereal, and I still enjoy, Buddhism and meditation, but more for the pragmatic aspects of it. I don't believe that I'm actually gonna transcend to nirvana. But like, yeah, it's something I've been struggling with, is how do you segue? How do you build that up? How do you set that up?
Uh,
You know, because I feel like any way I would do it is just going to be like a big backhand, like, excuse me, what?
I will say this, while in some cases the closet is the safest place to be, honesty in a relationship is also really important. So it may be a good idea to try to find a roundabout way. I know one way that I've seen people do it is like they find a video from a YouTuber, like a short one, talking about why they're an atheist, and they send it over. And I don't think I actually have one like that aside from the one deconverted one, but I think GMS has one. I believe Jimmy has one as well.
Yeah.
But just kind of sending that and going, hey, what do you think about this? Because then it's almost like somebody else broached the topic, and then after that you can just kind of go, okay, well, here's the thing. I've been having some thoughts, I've been doing some thinking, and this is kind of where I am right now, and just kind of easing your way into it, because at the end of the day you want to be honest with your partner.
Oh, absolutely. I'm thankful that religion isn't an integral part of our relationship. We did go to church with her parents. We haven't been in over a year, so at least it's not something that I have to like actively avoid. And I do, I play, videos from you and Jimmy and everyone in the skeptic community out loud, but then again, you could argue like most of the time, they're talking about like the transformed wife or
we're talking about an
Colin Morgan
extremist at that point.
Exactly. And you can be like, oh, ha ha ha, those crazy people, they're, on the fringe. So everybody can poke fun at them.
Yeah, it's not like I'm like it's especially on my channel, it's very rare that I'll talk about like a moderate Christian, because my issue is not just with Christianity. If somebody wants to be Christian, that's fine. My issue is that when somebody falls into one of those fringe groups, they start causing harm, and that's when I start commenting on it. Then there's the philosophical side of it where I'm like, well, your justifications are bad as well. But again, even that isn't talking about just moderate Christianity. That's talking about philosophy at that point. So yeah, no, if you've got a moderate, like apolitical Christian who's just sitting there going, yeah, no, they're crazy. There's not that feeling of introspection of like, wait, do I believe any of those things?
Right.
But that said, that is the end of the time that we have here. I'm going to have to pull another person down. But I did want to say I enjoyed having a conversation with you, Semper.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the stream.
Will do. Alrighty. So a couple things before we get into the next caller. I would like to say that it seems that Sam Sleaze has not gotten into the actual chat over on Discord. Sam, I literally got the idea to do a call-in stream mainly because I wanted a chance to talk with you. So if you are in the chat and you would like to say something besides "you suck," "fuck you," "I hate you," you can say all those things too, but we also have a rule in my chat. And moderators in the chat, please remember this one golden rule. If you are to insult me, be creative. You have to be creative with your insults if you're gonna insult me. Because I've gotten everything from your standard playground insults to death threats, and it doesn't affect me now. I need something new. Like, it needs to be insulting, it needs to be creative, it needs to be something that when I read it, I have to go, oh, that actually stung a little. I wasn't expecting that. Because, see, the problem is that when you get comments and emails where people tell you that they're going to come to your house and kill you, that you're fat and ugly, that you deserve to burn in hell, and every ounce of your flesh needs to be stripped off and fed to a Wendigo, you start to realize that, oh, there's two types of comments. There's the comment that says, oh, you're fat and ugly and that's stupid, and my eyes just glaze. I don't see it anymore. I'm just like, oh yeah, no, that's just another one of those guys. And then there's the one about feeding your flesh to a Wendigo, where at least it's something that I might not have heard yet. And that's the one that I'm like, oh yeah, no, good point. Good job. You get a gold star for trying. Past the gold star thing. I also just enjoy that. Shallow Size says, okay, boomer. Were I a boomer? But I'm not. Ugh. So. Wait, someone said feed you to a Wendigo. No, that was just me giving an example of the type of things that I've seen. But no, I have not actually been straight up told that my flesh needs to be fed to a Wendigo. But if I lived in a hypothetical world where somebody did tell me something like that, the first thing I would do is congratulate them, because holy shit, we need that kind of creativity in the world. That person could go on to be an artist or a writer. Alrighty, next one in line. I say line, I literally grab at random, I'm so sorry. Next person we have is Seven, but Seven is both muted and deafened, so they cannot hear me right now unless they are hearing on the stream. So, Seven, we'll give it about a minute, and that way you can unmute and deafen. Or unmute and undeafen, not deafen. You're already deafened. Give it about 30 more seconds. The average viewer says your flesh wouldn't be nutritious anyways. Correct! My depression has been currently fueled by a combination of Dynamite Doritos and Nutella. So, yes, you're entirely right. There is no nutrition to be had there. How's it going, Seven? I heard you say something just a second ago.
I can't hear you. If you're talking, I need to adjust my settings.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Possibly. We'll give it a second. A cannibal wouldn't even make soup out of you. Thank you, Shallow Shy. That's good. That works out. Casper Lascar Cirrus giving vitamin deficiencies to Wendigos. Yeah. Yeah. That's... Yep. Alright, I heard some banging. Seven, can you hear me now? And I just got a private message of an insult that was, Cirrus, you are what happens if you combine Christopher Hitchens with an Oompa Loompa. That's less an insult and more a compliment. Sorry. Oompa Loompas are hard workers, and Hitchens was a cool dude. In most regards. Black Diamond, the Borg wouldn't even assimilate you. Yeah? Alright, Seven, can you hear me yet? Because if not, we're going to cycle around and just give you priority for a pull down. Real Lock says, my dude, am I going to have to come up there and cook your polycule real food? Lock, I literally... Oh, God, this is going to sound horrible. This is going to sound horrible, and you know why. Dude, I literally made tater tots and freaking fried chicken legs today. And grilled cheeses, because Raz doesn't like chicken legs. Like, I make real food, Lock. I do. Okay. Seven, can you hear me yet? Oh, wow, Growlithe is doing a bark. I tried desperately to make that not happen. Alright. We're going to have to throw Seven back up there for the time being, and instead move down Lilith. This person looks like they've been there for a little bit. How's it going, Lilith? Though you're deafened still, so we'll have to do another waiting of undeafening and unmuting. Feed me, Cirrus. I are hungry, from Huster King. And Lilith went back into the waiting room. Okay. I guess I'm not talking to Lilith for the time being. Hold on. Send that up there. Growlithe! Soundproofing the door only goes so far. Can you guys tell that she's eaten the soundproofing over here? I soundproofed down there before we got a dog, and once we got a dog, I realized that putting foam at the lower parts of your wall isn't a good idea, because the dog eats them. 7 says they think they got their stuff working. All right, let's go ahead and pull down. All right, 7, you said you think you got your stuff working. Well, give it a shot. You'll have to undeafen and unmute again, though.
Okay, it's working now. I needed to adjust the Discord settings and not setting on my computer.
Fair enough. Hello, Growlithe.
Okay.
So, how's your day going so far?
Pretty good. Didn't expect to get to talk with you. So I don't really have any topics of conversation.
Fair enough. Is that one empty? Or low? Just low?
Half, but like Yumi screaming for food.
Ah, gotcha. So pull it out there. Where, you might want to put it further to the back, because Growlithe likes to tip the food over. She knows how to get to the bowl. Okay, I am so sorry about that. Having to handle animal business. How's it going, Growlithe? So you said you came in, didn't have... Growlithe. Okay, come here. So you said you came in, you don't have a topic because you didn't quite expect to be able to talk.
Well,
Then I guess...
it wasn't that I didn't expect to be able to talk. It was that I didn't have time before you start the stream to figure it out.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
you can always talk about your day. How's your day been?
it's been fine. Oh, it's been pretty much fine. Just recently, this past like week or two has been kind of rough for me, but overall, I'm mostly pretty good.
Gotcha. You said it's been kind of rough for you. Anything wrong? Anything we can, like, help with?
Not anything that I could think of that you could help with. Just like stress from school and stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, school is it high school or is it college?
High school.
High school. Yeah, high school was stressful.
Yeah,
Go on. Sorry.
I don't think I'd be able to get myself to do the work required to do well in college, and I don't feel like wasting any of my parents' money on that. And overall, I just feel like college isn't really for me.
Fair enough. Yeah, college is it's very much a thing that's dependent on what field you want to go into. Yes, Growlithe. What is it? Are you upset? Growlithe, do you want to go to college? My bald spot wants to go to college. It's on the freaking camera. Things reminding me of my age. So what I will... You actually won't let me speak, will you? Growlithe actually won't let me talk. No, I can understand the stress from high school. When I was in high school, I went to a technical school, and there was a point in time during either my junior or senior year, one of the two, where like my grade, not grade point average, but the average out of 100 for my grades during the year, like tanked to a 27. And that was not ideal. Luckily, though, the way they had our syllabus set up is most of our stuff was worth like 5 to 6% of the grade in the early part of the year. So I was able to build it back up with stuff that was weighted higher later. But that was still like a really stressful point where it's really awkward when your mom is looking at you going, how did you not only fail but ultra fail?
Yeah. One thing that makes it difficult is that like I've done pretty well in school for like my entire life up until like these past few years of high school.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm in a lot of pretty difficult classes. Like I'm in like the highest level of math I could possibly be in as a senior. It's BC calculus. So it's pretty tough, especially when I have trouble paying attention in class.
Yeah, math was actually my worst suit in school. I had to go through actually had to go through geometry twice. It was horrible. Like I was better at everything else except math. Math I'm still just absolutely abysmal at.
I do pretty good when I actually feel motivated. It's just that calculus just like it does not work for me, kinda. Know what I mean?
That's fair. Although,
Yeah.
on the flip side there, what are you wanting to do after high school? Because it might just be that this is a speed bump. Because if you don't need calculus for what you want to do after high school, then it's just one
I
thing.
don't think I do at all.
Hey, then if that's the case,
So,
then it's
yeah.
just the one little hurdle you have to get over, and after that hurdle, everything's fine.
Yeah. I'd like to be a game developer and possibly Twitch streamer.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it could be kind of cool to have like a community that like enjoys the stuff that I'm putting out. Just like I'd like to entertain people with the stories I put in games, and then like the kind of streams that I do.
Yeah, I will say this though, just as a fair warning, your mental health when you do stream, this is just from somebody who does it for a living. When you do a lot of streaming and stuff, your mental health kind of takes a dip because there's so much of your life that's through the lens of a camera and not private anymore. So I would say, just to give you that fair warning, hey, if you want to do it, I'll support you, because like it's what I do. But definitely be ready for that aspect of it, because that's the less than fun aspect of it. But
Yeah.
I will say it's worth it.
Yeah. I do think I'd want it to be more of like a kind of secondary type of thing to go, and I think my main thing would be making games.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's the smart way to do it. When I started YouTube, I did a year and a half of having to have an actual like full-time job, and then YouTube was my side thing. And then it was, ironically, it was getting fired for the first time from a job ever that led me to try to start doing YouTube full-time. Because at that point, it was my only source of income left, and I was only making like $150 a month off of YouTube at the time, so that was not a good thing. But yeah, no, definitely doing it as a side project is better, especially because if you're wanting to go into game development, one thing you can do is when you're doing a Twitch stream for a game, you can actually start going, hey, this is probably how they built this part of the game. This is probably how they built this part of the game. Because when you start learning game development, you start being able to see not just the game world that you're in, but you also start being able to see what the logic was behind creating something a certain way. Like as an example, if you play, I don't know if you're a fan of the Resident Evil series at all.
never played any.
Okay. So for context, Resident Evil Revelations was built on a handheld first. It was built on the DS. Hello. Are you still barking? There's no reason to be barking, little one. She's barking at Cat. Or Growlithe. Come here. Sit. I'm gonna stop. But when they ported Revelations to HD consoles, there were still these like minor quirks that existed because of how they had to fit the game on a little DS cartridge. And when you're playing the HD game, if you're aware of how those little minor quirks work, you see them everywhere. Instead of just feeling like, oh, I'm playing a new HD Resident Evil, you're seeing those little quirks in the coding. And it's sometimes really fun to have an audience and kind of point those things out. Like when I was doing Paper Mario on stream, one thing that we had fun doing was like pointing out where in the level geometry they didn't quite fill a seam in correctly between two polygons that were supposed to be spliced together. Sometimes they didn't fill the seams in correctly, and you can just like see the skybox behind a house that you're not supposed to be able to see. So you can definitely take like the skill set.
Where was it?
The very first Paper Mario, the N64 one.
Yeah, I played that on the Wii U Virtual Console, and it was really fun.
It was definitely a very good game. But that said, I wish you all the best of luck with high school, and I wish you all the best of luck with taking on streaming if that is what you want to do. It's fun, rewarding, and engaging, but it is also taxing, so be ready for that. But I did have a good time talking to you, Seven.
It
Alright.
was interesting to be able to talk to you and not just see your face move on a screen while
Fair
saying
enough.
words.
Fair enough. Well, I will definitely see you later. All right, that was fun. So, take a brief minute or two interim. How is everybody doing? I have lost a soundproof panel. It's gone. Every time I turn my head, I see my bald spot again. Every single time. I'm sure most people are completely desensitized to it now, but in reality, I just turn and see it and go, maybe people won't notice it if I completely point it out to the entire audience. Also, Frustrated Atheist says that they've improved their insult. The coronavirus is terrified of contracting you. Good! Sanchini says, third attempt, Cirrus is BGR's editor. Canna Valentine says, Cirrus, make an Amazon wish list. I have an Amazon wish list. Check the description of the YouTube version of the stream. There should be an Amazon wish list there. If not, it should be on every video I've made. Though I need to change the wish list, realistically. Certain things that are on there no longer apply. Like, I've got two... I still have studio lights on there, but I've got a spare studio light sitting in our community room now that somebody sent me that was really great. I should add new soundproofing. I mean, I can't yet. I have to wait until this dog stops trying to eat the house. Because they're trying to eat the house, the soundproofing is just more house they can eat. Like, currently, there's a shoe sacrifice to her. I'm not going to tilt the camera down, because then you guys will see all the stuff she's, like, scattered everywhere. But we've sacrificed a shoe to the Growlithe gods. All right. Let us see here. We're going to go ahead and pull in... Lilith is back. We'll give it a try one more time. Lilith, how are you doing today? Can you hear me just fine? And Lilith has disappeared once more. Okay. That's weird. I do not know. Is there... Ken Valentine says, is there dog toys in it? I will buy dog toys and shoes. I don't have dog toys on the Amazon wish list yet. I actually need to do that. Give her chew bones. Not only does she have chew bones, Mary Sefley, that we've bought specifically for her, but my friend's dad recently got a deer they hunted, and we actually went around the property and pulled several of the bones from the deer that they killed and stripped for food. So she actually has, like, actual deer bones to chew on as well. She just really likes shoes and the wall. The wall is tasty, apparently. Sweeping is going to be a chore today. Are you opening that to take her for... Oh, she's trying to fight it. She's eating my walls, Aaron. She wants the wall. It tastes like love. See? Just leave it cracked so she can pop back and forth. Yes, that's all stripped wall. Hello. You are in screen.
I'm just scratching Puppy.
She is a cute. Ravencrow says it's Lilith. I fixed the audio. All right, Lilith, how's it going?
Hi, can
Oh.
you hear me?
I can. Although, I definitely need Growlithe to stop barking. I can also hear myself through your thing.
Hold on.
It's your thing.
Okay, can you hear yourself now?
Yes. I can.
You can.
Do
Well,
you-
I'm on a phone, so you might have to put up with it because I muted the TV.
Fair enough. Then we'll just have to deal with it for about 5 minutes or so. That's fine. How's your day going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I can't complain. It has certainly been. There have been worse days in the last few months than today. The only bad thing about today, like I said in the beginning of the stream, was having to record a response to no bullshit. It's usually not a high point in my day.
I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
I hope it gets better.
I really hope it gets better. I hope that Growlithe stops barking. I've spent several hours today just wearing her energy out, and she's got a second wind.
Well, I have a bunny, and no matter what I do, he seems to chew on everything. I give him plenty of wood, cardboard, and yet he still goes after my laundry.
Growlithe, hold on 1 second. Okay. Come here. There's no more cat for you to bark at. You're staying in here with me. So you cannot bark at cats. Or you're just going to bark there. Oh my gosh, everywhere is a bark. Everywhere is a bark with you. I am terribly sorry about that. She is very loud.
That's okay.
And that is the
She's
soundproofing
adorable.
on the other side of my door. That's what I get for trying to improve my office.
Hi, Growlithe.
She won't stop. It's now that I'm an hour into the stream, she will not stop. Growly. Come here, Growlithe. Come here. Come here. You want to be a pain in the butt? You're coming in the lap. You may not like it. But that's fine. She is a barker. Okay. So, where were we before I had to run and grab Growlithe?
I was just wondering if you had any good books to recommend about religion in general.
Good books to recommend there. Wow, my thing fell, and she will not stop. Growlithe, please. Okay, hold on. I'll recommend a book in just a second, but I need to do a thing. Okay. If you're gonna bark, if your goal is to bark, you better do it not right here. Okay. There. So half the problem is that Growlithe was trying to bark at the cat who was where the cat food and water is. The cat food and water sits on a TV tray right outside my office door. That way I never forget to take care of it. Problem with it being right outside my office door. Loud girl. Okay. So as far as book recommendations are about, like, religion, philosophy, stuff like that?
Yeah.
So the one that I would recommend is called The Philosopher's Toolkit. I actually have a copy of it on my phone on Audible. Let me pull it up real quick. so I can get you the author. It is by Patrick Grimm. It is a very useful book. The only other one that I would probably recommend is like a primer would be... Are you wanting stuff specifically about like the Christian God?
Mainly since that's where I grew up with, but any would do because I grew up in Philadelphia, so I grew up in a very diverse area.
Okay.
So I'm used to hearing about different religions, but the one I know best is Christian.
So there is one by Dan Barker that I have called God, the Most Unpleasant Character in All of Fiction. That's actually a good read. It's a decently long book, but it's Dan Barker taking every single quote from the Bible where God is a dick and just commenting on it. And it's enough to fill up an entire book.
That's kind of why I left Christianity, because I kept hearing all this stuff about him being horrible, and I was like, I really don't want to follow a god like that who says, oh yeah, let me just help you with this war, but you're gonna have to kill the first person that comes out of your home. And the guy ends up killing his daughter.
It's like a really screwed up version of the Law of Surprise.
I'm like, that's not really a fair trade.
No, it's not. But that's one I would suggest if you want a book that's... So I'm not a big fan of Dawkins, and I'm not a big fan of The God Delusion, but it is a book that I would recommend reading, but definitely read it with a grain of salt. Because the entire premise of the book is literally just Dawkins going, look at this primitive faith, look at these primitive beliefs. And I don't think that's a really good tact or method, but it is still a book that I would recommend reading in the same way that I would recommend reading Improbable Planet by Hugh Ross if somebody wanted to know some of the explanations that a more science-minded apologist would give. Like,
okay, interesting.
An Improbable Planet, like that's Christian literature specifically. I still recommend reading stuff from people I don't agree with because that's the only way you can really figure out their side without strawmanning. So those would be the ones that I would recommend. The last one I could probably recommend would be Evolution of God. That one is by Robert Wright, and it catalogs. Wow, why am I pronouncing that wrong? The goal of that one is to catalog the different faiths that we've seen move over the last couple thousand years, where they've moved, how they've gotten where they are, what parts of those faiths have been left by the wayside. It's a lot like a history book, basically. But it's specifically focused on the history of various religions and their ideas of God.
That's interesting. Robert Wright, what was the book called?
The book by Robert Wright, it is The Evolution of God. Oh,
okay, thank you.
And the last one, Kenrasa Bloodstone just mentioned it as well. The Foundational Falsehoods of Creationism by Aaron Ra. That is a good one, though if you have a choice between getting the regular version or getting the audiobook version, I implore you to get the audiobook because Aaron voices the audiobook version himself, and that makes it worth the buy alone. That's where I bought it. I got it in audiobook instead of paperback.
Okay. I'll see if I can get the audiobook one.
Gotcha. So is there anything else besides book recommendations? Because those would be the ones that I would do.
What anime are you currently watching? Or that you look forward to?
The anime I'm currently watching, I'm planning on doing a rerun through Dragon Ball Kai. Because I haven't actually gotten a chance to see the Buu Saga done in the Kai form. I've only seen the first 100 episodes up to the Cell Saga in Kai form, though I've of course seen the original show multiple times. I'm also running through Evangelion one more time because I was introducing Emmett Gaelic Knox to it. Past that, I need to go through and finish watching Danganronpa because I started it with everybody in the house. and then had to break away to work, I believe, the day that we were watching it. So I need to go through and finish watching it.
I really like Danganronpa, but I haven't seen the second season of the anime since, from what I was told, that's technically based off the third game. And I haven't played any of the games, and I didn't want to... I feel like I'm skipping if I go from the first one to the third one.
That's fair, though I've just learned where like cross-medium stuff is concerned that if I want to sit down and play the game, I can do that at some point. But for me, shows that are representative of games, a lot of times I'll just watch the show regardless, because I can throw it on like the second monitor while I'm working on the primary monitor, and then that makes things much better for me. It is more likely that I'll watch a show than play a game, only because I can watch a show passively while I'm doing something else.
I understand. I have ADHD, so I tend to have something on while I'm working on something, just because I can't have I can't just do one thing. I have to have multiple things on at all times.
Yep, that's understandable. I used to do a lot of that when I was. People hated me at Magic the Gathering tournaments because I would actually be playing like Halo or something on my laptop while playing a card game, and it infuriated people. But it got to the point where I started going, okay, how much stuff can I do at once? I'm significantly worse at doing it now than I used to be.
Alright, well, I don't have anything else.
Okay.
But it was nice chatting with you.
All right, you as well. Thank you for hopping on. Alrighty, just give me just 1 second. Take another very quick break. Rose Dragon says, wait, now I need to know what your favorite Danganronpa character is so far. So here's the problem with me and characters. My memory is absolutely abysmal. So while I can tell you what stage in the story I'm at, I could not tell you character names. I could barely describe their faces. It's weird. My memory is not horribly great where people are concerned, even fictional people. I'll completely forget character names, and it's one of the reasons why when I'm doing edited videos, sometimes I'll sit there for 10 minutes forgetting things. If you're an avid watcher of my streams, you'll know that very basic things sometimes just fog out of my head and don't actually like get there when they're supposed to, and it's sometimes just basic shit. Stuff that my memory should be perfectly equipped to deal with, but it's not. That's not me trying to cop out. That's me trying to go, if I could remember any character name at all, I would gladly tell you, but I cannot. It's not because the show did not do a good enough job portraying any one character. It's simply that my memory is that bad. All right. That said, the next person who has been waiting for a little bit as well, we will pull down.
Oh, hello.
Sarah, how are you doing? Oh, wow, that's loud. Hold on. I have you turned up from the last time we talked. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well.
That's good. So, this has been a decent time since we've chatted. Anything new happened that you haven't already told me?
Well, we read further into the Sonic.exe rewrite.
That sounds like a mistake.
It was. We had fun, but it was terrible. I mean, we got to cast General Grievous as the college's principal.
What?
It was essentially, they said like in one of the previous chapters, go like the principal had to give the Grievous announcement, and like so General Grievous gave the announcement.
General Kenobi.
So, General Kenobi. These crime scene photos will make an excellent addition to my collection.
Just,
And by reading the story, it's very obvious that JC never went to college.
They start describing, like, the college dorm had everything you'd expect in a college dorm. Like, I don't know what those things are. Please enlighten me.
They're all different. As well as everybody has their own individual room. No.
What? No, even the single person dorms that I went to, I wasn't in college myself, but I got to spend a decent bit of time at an ex's dorm. We will not go into details there, but one of the things that I noted is that even the single person dorms had bunk beds. So even the single person dorms were equipped to hold 2 people. That's just a thing in college. You figure it out.
You are not alone. And like my situation was kind of different, since when I was in my first semester of college ever, I was in a suite style dorm where everybody, like, there were 4 bedrooms and a common room and a bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was in there with 6 other girls, so only one person had their own room.
The other thing that you let me guess. I'm also going to assume that this person made the mistake of thinking that dorms typically also have private bathrooms, because that one is also not true.
Yep.
Because if your dorm had a private bathroom, that was an expensive dorm. No.
You were going to a rich kid school.
Yeah.
And it goes like, Tom was the average college student. Handsome, work. Like, always liked wearing a vest over his turtleneck. It's just like...
That's not the average college student.
Yeah.
That's a stereotypical anime character.
Yep. It's like, that's wish fulfillment, JC.
Yeah, there was a book I was writing years ago that I stopped. But I hit a snag where, like, I needed to detail a military base specifically, and then I realized that as somebody who's only ever been in the outskirts, like the outer rooms of a military base, with my dad, I was not equipped to describe anything in that base, and I just scrapped that part of the story completely.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
I was like, I can't actually accurately describe this thing. This thing probably doesn't need to be in my story.
Yep, and my friend and I made the decision that Sonic, like the evil Sonic, should be Scottish.
It's a horror game. You're gonna die. No, I need to change my fate.
It's like, all up to the earth. Oh my God, it's gonna be massive hedgehog cock.
Oh my God. So I don't have my door closed because I want Growlithe to be able to walk in and out freely. So I want to shout random, like, borderline insulting Scottish things. Stereotypes, mind you, but I'm not going to do that out of respect for the other people who are in the office right ahead.
Yeah. But yeah,
You're welcome, assholes.
But yeah, like, we're planning to do more of it on, like, Wednesday if you're available. I think it'd be fun.
I might be available. It depends on what time on Wednesday.
Early afternoon.
Early afternoon. Again, I might be. Best thing you can do is contact me a couple hours before, and then I'll be able to know, because it's one of those things where, like, even if I say yes, there's always that chance that something's gonna come up and I'll suddenly have to go. I can't because reason X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm. And it's just like, I'm thinking of doing a redo of the 2 chapters that we read because my microphone quality was horrible.
Okay. Well, ideally, you're not going to ask for an Alex Jones impression like the last time I got to read fan fiction, because I can only do that for so long.
No. Unless I gave you a character with very few lines.
That, I would definitely appreciate that, but narrating, the last time I did it, I was the narrator.
Yeah.
And that did not go out very well.
Brulad. As well as I heard that you'd said something about no bullshit, like how you'd recorded a response to him.
Yeah, I did another response to him today, and it's I have to animate it still, but it's.
I mean, I remember him making a video a long time ago talking about how it's stupid that they would want to make an all-female version of Lord of the Flies because we know that it would fall apart within the first 10 minutes. It's like, buddy, may I introduce you to a 2006 video game called Rule of Rose?
What's the favor?
That was essentially all-female Lord of the Flies, and it was different that the girls actually actively removed the adults.
I can do that. You want to take over for a second?
Oh,
That said, I'm going to have to not end the stream, but I'm going to have to hop over and let someone take over for just a second so that I can take care of the pupper, because the pupper, regardless of the amount of time she has gone out and played, needs to have it happen again because
right.
she is a bundle of energy. That said, thank you for hopping on. Send me a message on Wednesday and we will figure that out. Till then,
Sounds great.
I am going to pop you back up there and then swap places.
Okay.
All right, give me just a second.
Hello, everybody. Yes, I have taken over the chat. Also, Cirrus, can I screenshot this response?
Yes, if you'd like. What is the response?
It's from the average viewer. Okay, where's Discord?
What is the response?
I'm sharing it in Polycule.
Okay. Oh my god. Thanks.
I am doing good.
Hello, I'm here to assist.
You're here to assist in the takeover.
Yes. Because there are two chairs.
There are two chairs.
Ah, Jesus! The chair tips.
Yes, the chair does tip.
Put on pants for this.
You put on pants for this. Sean Dobson. So, I'm trying to rebuild back my channel, which is officially Aaron's Chair. The actual Aaron's Chair.
Aaron, is this hoodie yours or mine?
It's not mine.
I think it's yours.
But all of my hoodies are like pullovers because those are the most comfortable.
Oof, oof, oof. Oof, oof, oof.
It's like she has infinite energy today.
Your mommy, hello. 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 Oof, oof. Hello. Oof, oof. Oof, oof, oof.
I'm sorry, but Cirrus is acting sort of. Why do you think that, Zoomer?
Oh, it's Emmett, I'm safe. Acting pimpish?
Yeah.
Hello, my baby. You behave for me, don't you? It's kinda not real. That's a lie. You behave when I scratch your butt.
Wow.
She's getting butt scratches.
I gotta take her outside.
Be free.
Did you see the comment?
What? Emmett, give pup love on my behalf. What?
Okay, okay, okay.
He won't shove about having multiple girlfriends, seem kind of pimpish and over.
And insecure. Okay. I mean, it's no different. Hear me out. It's no different than talking about, like, my partners. Or if I were to have a single partner, just talk about my partners. Like, oh, I love my partner. It's, oh, I love my partners.
I love being multi-character as much as what. Yeah, that's. Yeah.
I mean.
But he doesn't talk about that.
He talks about having multiple partners, but, like. But I think it's just, like, having multiple partners is not so much an insecurity thing. Considering, none of us are girls. We're all NBs.
Yeah.
We're all eggs. An egg is a gender neutral. Even in most languages, egg is gender neutral.
He doesn't do it excessively.
No, he doesn't do it excessively. It's no different than talking about like if you have one partner, and you talk about like how much you love your one partner.
Cirrus and the eggs. How's it going?
It's going. We just took over.
Why does he have dice on his desk?
I don't know. Yes, we actually sleep all in the same bedroom. We made one giant bed.
Yeah.
With a king and a full.
But the is it the full that's slightly lower than the king? So if you're on the full, which I usually am, then you're kind of just stuck up against the big bed. Instead of
Does
stick your arm
Cirrus
over.
let the partners up? Yes, we all have multiple partners. I have 3 partners. You have 3 partners. Raz has 3 partners. Cirrus has 3 partners.
He doesn't let shit. Like, he doesn't.
Is there like a troop? Yeah, no, there's also that assumption. Raz is the man of the house.
Yeah, Raz, the question was, does Cirrus... sorry, hold on, what was it?
Does Cirrus let his girlfriends have multiple partners? First of all, anybody wondering...
Hold on, you need pants! No, I don't. Oh, no. Yes, you do!
I've got my kid, everything's okay.
I'm gonna stick my hand here.
Thank you, Pika.
I have boxers on.
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
For anyone that thinks that I'm a girl, go fuck yourself. I'm gender fluid, non-binary.
We also made that distinction that all of us are gender fluid or non-binary of some sort.
And Cirrus doesn't let anyone do anything. If anything, all of us let each other do things.
Yeah, it's mutual consent. It's not him. It's not us going, oh, Cirrus, dear, please, can we date some... No, fuck off.
Cirrus doesn't have 4 pussies. Cirrus has got an asexual partner that he doesn't fuck because, I have trauma in regards to that. A graysexual and a pansexual. And while we have female parts, calling us pussies isn't exactly gonna get you love in the community.
I think they're referring to the cats. I could be dumb though. When did this happen?
How can there be true love with 8 people? There's only actually 4.
Yeah.
We're just all dating each other.
Hi. It's on your phone. I fucking drew it out.
My phone's
It's a
charging.
fucking spider web.
And how can there be true love? Simple, because you can love more than one person. Like,
Let me ask you this. You have kids. Do you love only one, or do you love all? If you love all of them, then your argument's shit. If you have a favorite, then don't ever become a parent and go to therapy. You clearly have issues.
And I hate to say this, like, we don't have favorites. I love Raz and Emmett as much as I love Cirrus. I love them all equally. We just express that love differently.
Cirrus is running the dog real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cirrus had to run the dog real quick because the dog was barking in my face while I was trying to play Witcher, and then just yap, 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 and we're not, no.
And all of us have mobility issues.
Yeah, all of us have mobility issues.
I will beat you with an inch. If Cirrus was forcing me to say these things, do you think he'd still be here?
Like, Aaron, say these things about me, about how you love me. Me. What?
Like, I'll be the first one to fucking tell you, Cirrus is a goddamn asshole with a lot of fucking issues. But you know what? So are all of us.
Yeah.
Like, none of us are here, like, none of us are forced to be here. We're here of our own free will.
And we'll say what we fucking want about him.
Yeah.
Zoomer asks a lot of silly questions. Zoomer seems to be very,
like,
not the brightest tool in the shed.
Meat Cirrus isn't the real one. You're right. What? Oh, there he is. He's still fucking... Here we go.
Real Cirrus.
Is Zuma actually... You know what? That's actually...
He might be. I don't know.
Maybe.
If he is, man, I hope he can get in the fucking Discord. He's been there so long, it's shocking. No wonder he doesn't know anything.
Yeah, it's real Cirrus.
Yeah, no, Cirrus has to run the dog, though, because, all of us have mobility issues in such a fantastical way.
Yes, bow down to real Cirrus, for he is the one true.
Oh!
What?
I got banned off Surus Discord.
Oh, really? Who are you then? Because I'd love to know.
I'm Curiosity Killing the Cat?
Emmett is a Z? What?
I don't understand.
Oh, Kiwi! Yes, hi, I am also Kiwi. Hello! I am here from Kiwi Land. I'm going back in about a month. Hi, honey.
Oh.
I am now Pillow. Standing like this hurts. Just already left this and I took unflaring picture of myself, got me banned, I think.
The only way...
The only way you could have gotten fucking banned from the goddamn Discord for showing a fucking picture of yourself is if it was racist, blatantly sexist, or if you were a minor. So, pretty good reason to be banned.
I do remember there was one instance of someone, I think, getting banned because they were persistent with the minor thing.
Yeah.
In the picture, so I think if that's you, there's a valid reason why. Emmett is Kiwi Egg. I'm a minor, not a... No, that's a good reason.
Really?
No,
really?
that's
Let me educate you on soliciting a picture from a minor. It's called law. It's called you could get everyone in the fucking Discord in fucking jail and the runners of the Discord put in prison. So, yeah, glad you're banned. With that kind of fucking thought processes.
Like, the reason we cannot accept any kind of picture from a minor of themselves is because it could be used to fuck over everyone in the server, including Surus. So, like... Okay, we're saying fake Surus has 3 cuddle buddies. Minecraft, never mind, Raz is angry, Oz is afraid.
Oz needs to be afraid of the chaos.
I would like to not be in prison, I am soft.
True.
Bumblin, we will not let you in prison. You are too soft and too pure.
Exactly,
Bumblin is too
Pikachu.
pure.
You fucking accepted the rules when you joined the Discord.
Yeah,
And
like
now
you-
have a password section.
Yeah, 15 will get you 20.
Yes, I am
Yeah.
Raz.
This one is Raz, this one is Emmett, this one this one is Aaron.
I swear I'm mature. I swear I'm an adult.
I notice you, Haberja.
We all notice you. We all give hugs. At least I give hugs.
Hello. I'm gonna make you fall.
Please no. Do not want to fall.
Emmett, how much do you charge for drawing?
I charge $20 an hour, so it depends on the complexity of what you want, but if you want to DM me, I'm more than happy. I also have a website, GaelicKnox.com. Contact me there.
Really, Zoomer? Really? 16, not far from 18. Age of consent is somewhat arbitrary in that sense. Let me tell you about grooming. Let's talk about grooming. And there's a really big groomer in YouTube right now that's going through a lot of bullshit for his grooming.
Hi, Baba.
18 is when your mental process is fully complete and it's the first instance of you being a real adult. In fact, most states will have age of consent laws actually need your parents to consent to it first, not you. So, you want to argue age of consent? I can pull up everything I know about the internet and laws because I studied law by myself with some help from a cousin of mine
Hold on.
who is law. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, your frontal lobe fully develops, but your mental faculties to make adult decisions are about 18.
Yeah.
It's developed enough for you to make the adult decisions.
When you're 18.
I would also like to point out whether or not that you personally, like, view it as an okay thing or a not okay thing. The fact is that, and the law remains that you have to be above 18 to do certain things. Like, that is the law. If you have an issue with it, it's not us you need to take up with, it's...
Argue with fucking California, apparently.
Tony just pulled it up. Discord uses law of California, a state which the age of consent is 18.
So you
Yeah.
got a fucking issue? Go bitch to California. Don't bitch at us because we follow the rules.
Yeah.
Especially considering we have people who worked in law enforcement, officially, as a moderator.
Showing a shirtless picture of myself was sexual liberation and empowerment, some leftists you all are. No, that's called sending a picture of a minor mildly nude can get you fucking prison sentence.
That is... Okay, so if
You violated the fucking law, you can get arrested. And so can we.
yeah, like
It's not appropriate either way because, sure, you can call it empowerment and stuff. You're still under 18. There are still moderators and such who are over 18.
then if you send a topless pic when you're under 18, that is child porn. That is child porn. You are sharing child porn. Please
It's
don't.
disgusting. Thirdly, oh no, what if somebody under 18 is uncomfortable with seeing that content?
Like,
You've now put somebody in an uncomfortable position that
once
could have
you-
set off anxiety or stuff.
Once you are over 18, once you are legally adult, then go for it.
I love insulin. Just Zoomer's not a real person. There's no way.
Hell, I've been shirtless at a bloomin' like abortion protest type thing. Like, well, not abortion protest, is that the correct term? A protest for like pro-choice rather than pro-life.
Yeah.
I'm pro-choice, okay? Trying to explain. But I've been shirtless at those. Like, shirtless liberation. Hell yeah. Just fucking...
It's not a social fucking construct. You're agreeing with Onision, you fucking prick.
Also, you agreed to these rules. You can't just sit there and say, oh, it was no reason, I don't agree with it. You typed in the fucking password.
Yeah. I also agree that the whole, like, guys can be shirtless, girls can be can't be shirtless thing is stupid. However, the law is currently, you cannot show a shirtless picture of a fucking minor.
At all.
Like,
No.
I'm sorry, it's not okay.
Icarus! Law of surprise.
You vote Poe's law. You vote law as a
I'm sorry, I got so fucking excited.
Yeah, there.
I got so fucking excited over Law of Surprise, okay.
What about pics taken at nudist colonies?
If the colony and the head of the colony did not agree to it, then it is distribution of porn.
Please.
Specifically the category revenge porn. And nudist colonies only allow pictures of people above the age of 18.
Nudist colonies usually also have rules where they check ID to make sure everybody that enters is above age.
Yep, and when somebody has a child, the child and the parents must leave the colony until the child is of age to return, which is 18.
Also,
Toss
Bumble
a
and Preach.
coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty. I'm sorry, Icarus, you're awesome. Shut up.
I'm gonna do this.
Oh my god. So, Nikki, to explain this, and this is something I feel like I've explained many times.
Aaron's first language is not English, it is Japanese. And so, when taught English in a Japanese school, you are to say however and then comma, or however, period, or whatever. You are to say the what's it called? Punctuation at the end of the sentence or in the middle of the sentence.
Yeah. It's also very
Can
good.
mentally ill people engage in sexual acts? If so, why is it not appropriate for a 16-year-old?
I'm ignoring Zoomer, because Zoomer's
Get
all sorts
some
of levels.
fucking help.
Can we
Yeah,
You
like,
fucking Onision
research.
apologist.
So, Zuma,
Please
I'm
fucking...
just going to very quietly... I appreciate that you want to have that kind of conversation, but I'm going to pop you in timeout because there's not the time or the place.
Thank you.
Gainer, please keep him hidden if he continues.
So, volunteer... Wait, he's doing calls?
Yeah.
Oh.
That C-I-S-I whatever bitch. That-
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's not something I've ever publicly stated. It is something I have told us a lot. And the reason why Japanese schools do that is not so much periods, but commas aren't a huge thing in the Japanese language.
Mm.
Commas just aren't. Yes, Zoomer does lack critical thinking. But because commas are not the most common thing, when you read a English paragraph, you're translating it from English to Japanese speech. So you'll have the word however, and then you'll have that comma afterwards all the time. And you're just like, however, comma, or and, comma, or comma and.
It's also a really fucking cute speech quirk, and I will fight people.
I hate it.
I love it.
I hate it.
It sparks joy.
Can you click over to the Twitch chat? God damn it, Aaron.
Yes.
Alt tab again. There you go.
I was gonna say my free speech while you take away my free speech. Can I make a particularly bad joke? It's because we put the child in timeout. Anyway,
Like, you're right. There is free speech. You do have free speech, and you can say whatever the fuck you want, not in our areas.
we can also choose whether we want to listen.
Somebody asked, is there a way to learn from English to Japanese? And I would honestly say, one, I hate kanji, but learn kanji first.
No.
Yes, because
No.
kanji is actually the most used.
Learn hiragana, because at the very least you can spell everything out. People will look at you weird, but they'll understand.
Aaron, I don't like my glasses. Okay.
It's not so much that Erin doesn't like her glasses, it's that fucking the dog got a hold of them.
The dog got a hold of them, so they now all have holes in them.
I do need to, at some point I'm gonna do a live stream to earn money to buy us all new glasses, but I need to finish my current queue first. Kanji are cool and kanji. No, kanji is hell. Kanji is confusing.
Zoomer got muted because they equated mental illness to being a fucking minor. The fucking definition of mental illness is something that is physically wrong with the mind. Like,
Hiragana is the hardest to learn.
being
even
16
Katakana is
doesn't mean
easier.
anything's fucking wrong with your mind. Being 16 means it hasn't fully formed yet.
Hiragana is really easy to learn. It's
Katakana is still logistically easier.
yeah.
So
I learned Hiragana first, so
I don't know Japanese.
I learned them all.
I know French, I know German, I
wonder
know some
why.
Latin. Right, B? Anxiety and depression does not make you a child.
yeah, PTSD does not make me a child. Being autistic does not make me a child. Yes, I'm technically mentally ill, but I'm still bang, because I am an adult, and I can do whatever the fuck I want within the laws.
Kanji is a nightmare, but it is the most used, which means it's on the most signs, and it's used in all the railway stations.
Yeah, and yes, it was a very late stage diagnosis, as in I was an adult when they diagnosed me. Did misspell speak? Yeah, the meltdowns are scary. Thankfully, I haven't had an autistic meltdown here, so. Please, what do you understand all that stuff? Being 43 does not make me mature. I feel that. I feel that on a spiritual level. I'm 23,
Yeah.
and I'm not mature. I also have to count.
Oh god.
Adulting is a lot of effort. It is a lot of effort. Honestly, I don't like it. I want to go back to being a kid, to be honest.
Haha, I'm the youngest in the polycule.
And yet people think you're the oldest.
That's because I'm not a bitch like you guys. I fucking sit here and put my fucking foot down and I'm like, listen here, you diddle fucking shit. I'm gonna beat that fucking ass.
I have mixed feelings about the drinking age, and I don't feel like my feelings should be stated.
Christopher, how and where do you DM? You can do it on Discord, you can do it on Twitter, you can do it, wherever else she has links. And there is actually a link to the Discord in which you can go to the Discord and message Emmett from there.
Yes, no, so Cirrus is actually the oldest, and then it's me, and then it's Emmett, and then it's Raz.
Even though we were born the same year, it's just you're born earlier in the year.
Yeah, no, my 24th birthday is
Yeah,
coming,
I'm
like,
22.
right up.
I'll turn 23 this
We can
year
watch
in
Lord
like
of the Rings
November.
Extended edition.
Oh, we're gonna play League.
Yeah, but like, we can do more than one thing on your birthday.
Yeah.
I can make you a bunch of popcorn.
I am not a baby, Gainer. Gainer.
It's okay, Gainer, because you are Buddha.
You are Buddha.
Do not. Okay, and stopping now.
Yep, I fixed it. Don't worry about it.
We were unaware and stopping. You're baby till you're 30. I agree with that. Also young. Yeah, we're baby.
Listen, I'm not a baby.
I'm baby.
Emmett's baby.
Apparently. I've been told I'm server baby.
Lisa, Nightbot is the reminder bot that we put little advertisements in. So.
Oz, why are you scared? Panda is sweet. I cannot see your blip. That is upsetting.
Yeah, of course, I have to be professional in front of them. But I'm off camera, so.
Emmett is baby.
Haberja fucking gets it! Raz is daddy, not baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you consider yourself an Asian Emmett since you're No.
What? Why?
What?
I'm confused.
What?
No! No, New Zealand is nowhere near Asia. No.
Okay, let's get one thing clear. I'm the only Asian in this house, and I'm not even ethnically Asian. I'm culturally Asian because I grew up in fucking Japan.
What do you think Firefox can our sources for the Chrome user? I use Chrome. Aaron has strong feelings about Firefox, and Raz also uses. We all use Chrome.
Fuck Firefox.
How old is
Firefox
Cyrus?
says
Is that
So,
public knowledge?
Cyrus is 27. He'll be turning 28 this year. Aaron pops in at a strong 23, almost 24. Then Emmett is a strong 23, almost 24. And I am a strong 22, almost 23. So, haha.
So for everybody who likes Firefox,
Cyrus is Cyrus is a baby. Oh, tell him that.
so for all who like Firefox, let me state this. Firefox has these humongous coding gaps and loopholes that make hackers really, really easy to just... I'm stealing all your info. And it's pretty much like a virus, the way it works.
needs to say-
So...
Sorry, continue.
Yes, Oz.
So for everybody who likes Firefox, you have the high propensity to get hacked. And I hate that as an ethical hacker.
Is Firefox homophobic? It might be. But Guillotine, if you want to bring that up with him, then go for it, because, like... I ain't having that argument. I ain't having that conversation.
I am Russian and German mix.
So, like, ethnicity-wise, I'm Native American and Scott-Irish.
Hack me harder, daddy.
Ethnicity-wise, I am Native American, Iroquois, and Scott-Irish.
How do you draw corn?
I have... I can't...
References. Corn. See, I fucking hate corn, not just to draw, but to eat, so, like, don't ask me. Just references. Lots of references. It's like a bubbly...
See,
What shape is corn?
I don't know.
You won't like my answer. It'll get everything demonetized.
Tony, ancestry-wise, ethnicity does not equal culture, because I have to make that distinction because I did not grow up around my ethnicity. I never grew up around my ethnicity until I was 13.
Okay, we're about to get the stream demonetized. B, if you want to draw corn,
No! I'm not the artist!
draw a,
How about you have this conversation over DMs?
draw a Pringle can with a tape it in, but make it bubbly. Oh, that's actually a good flip. Would he care?
I don't know.
Smell good. I could get a reference for B.
You'll have to do it on DMs. You can't do it in here.
Not in here.
Second question: purple or red grapes? Red.
There's
God,
a difference.
Carrot. Thank you. That's the thing I was looking for. It's like a thick, bubbly carrot. Can we see Sura's hot sauce stash? It's just a.
Yeah. There you go.
Baby.
Should I open his chips and eat some?
I don't care.
Aaron?
I'm chaos.
It's been done.
We're all chaos.
It's been sitting there for so long.
I mean, that's fine. Here's my baby. Yeah, I know. You
The
chirp.
noises.
I know, you chirp.
I'm very happy. I have my baby. She's purring.
Yumi, would you like a chip?
I know. I woke you up, and you did the chirp, and I'm sorry. Mwah. I give you many kisses.
Here's Yumi's face.
Yumi is not impressed.
No, she's not.
Are you kidding me, Guillotine? You have to fucking be joking. If you think any cat has less cognitive fucking function than a kid, you're a fucking idiot.
Also,
My cat can do more than your entire fucking left arm.
also, like, that is my cat. Is a cat. Also, how do you feel about anti-Apple people versus Apple fans? I personally don't like Apple.
I like apples.
I like the fruit,
Go ahead, Tony.
but
Apples are like round carrots.
cats are very smart.
I love apples. Let me just tell you about apples, right? They're round, they're red, you bite into them. I preferably like mine cut into slices. I like mine dipped in either peanut butter or hazelnut butter, and it's pretty good.
Thank you, another person who hates Apple. So I don't hate Apple. Because I have an iPhone that I use for my medical ID. Sometimes. So I don't hate Apple. But I just...
See you later. I'm just gonna call you Mira
Guess who's
from
back?
Twitter or
Back
Twitch.
again. Zoom is
Hey!
back. So is... Oh god, I'm eating his chips and he's back.
So, we muted Zoomer.
That's fair.
We also muted Guillotine.
Guillotine, something like that.
Gilligoozle Hazel.
He, they
I'm sorry, I'm weak.
Zoomer, said that if mentally ill people can have sex, then so can 16-year-olds.
That's
And-
not how that works. Not all mental illnesses affect your ability to have cognition and consent.
And, Guillotine decided to try and equate, kids being more intelligent and having more mental thought processes than cats, and thus it was pedophilic of us to have cats. So,
They're just
On
idiots.
stream.
On stream.
Yeah, now I think that's the type of Okay, so if you're still listening and you are the person who said that, I am so sorry for the deficiencies that are going on in your brain. Because either you're stupid enough to think that, or stupid enough to think saying it's a good idea. And either way, I refuse to equate that to volition.
oh my god, it's the puppy.
Zoomer is still around, they're just in timeout.
Yeah,
No, it's fine.
we keep timing out the fucking child.
That said, I do not get my share, do I?
You can have your chair. I'm going back.
But I have a request.
What?
May I have?
That's all yours.
Yeah! I got pregnant. It's a potty stream. Because I shouldn't like cell phone.
Go! Let's go!
I can't.
Fucking
stuck this trap! Bye, stream.
Fucking crap. Let's go! Go! Up two!
Like, I will see one of you in a bit. I'll see all of you in a bit. But... Okay. Sorry about that. And it seems that Growlithe is still... nothing makes her run out of energy, I swear. I try. We try our best. Whew. And this time I am now in hoodie, because... Whew. Yes, Growly girl? What are you trying to do? Anywho, mason jar of soda. Alright, so we can get to the next person who is waiting so patiently. Alright. Min, how's it going? I am sorry that took so long. I'm also hoping that audio things are working for you.
Hello, sir. I'm in.
Hey, I can hear you now. What's up?
Oh, hi. Thank you for taking my call. I would love to ask you a question about the fallacy that people call the argument from popularity. So I wonder, do you think it matters that a majority of people believe in something if they are geographically close or distant? Does it validate or this argument?
So, if somebody says that the majority of people believing something makes it more real, that's the argumentum ad populum fallacy. But, are you saying that is somebody's belief in something more valid if more people around them believe it? Is that what you're saying?
I guess I'm trying to understand where this fallacy works. For example, let's take the belief in a deity.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say if people from Iceland who believe in the god Odin, right? And I guess we can say this is a majority of belief in this god, but that doesn't mean that he exists. And these people believe the same thing because they live pretty close in proximity.
Mm-hmm.
So of course that doesn't mean that this god is actually in the reality. However, let's say let's say I have a dream about this being, and I have zero connection to the Icelandic culture.
Mm-hmm.
And later on when I check the description about this deity, and it's matched up with what I see in my dream. And then someone else from India saw the same thing. Someone else from Japan see the same thing. And then someone else from Southern America see the same thing. And none of the culture had any connection to the Norse pantheon. And so, and then in this dream that all of us received the message of this deity, say that I want you to go to this place, and then you will meet the other ones, and we all go to the same location and each other. And so, do you think that's a good reason to believe that this God actually real?
So, I still wouldn't say that that's a good reason to believe in a god, mainly because, oh, Growlithe, really, as soon as I start talking, that's when you're going to do this? Oh my gosh. She's adorable, but she's a pain. So I wouldn't say that that's a good reason to believe. I would say that it increases the likelihood that someone would believe, but at that point, in your example, we're mainly just saying that a bunch of people had a similar idea, whether it be from a dream or whether it be what they perceive as a vision or anything like that. They've had a similar idea happen at some point. And the mere fact that these people have a similar perception, a similar idea, does not in and of itself add validity to a god, because the only way it would add validity to the belief in a god is if those perceptions only had one explanation, and if the only explanation was that it was a god communicating or trying to have you perceive them. But if there are other explanations that are infinitely more mundane, usually those are the ones that are going to pan out as well. So, for instance, we can always just default onto the obvious circumstance. Secondly, they might not have any perception or any like connection to Icelandic culture, but as an example, nor does my co-host, who helps me with Hammered Out, Ocean, and yet he actually is a polytheist who believes in Odin. The idea that they simply share, or the principle that they share an idea of a god, doesn't necessarily add validity one way or another. It, at the end of the day, can still be chalked up to things like circumstance, or perceptions that are close enough to one another that seem like they're the same thing. That's not me trying to undermine it. That's just, for me, it adds likelihood to a god if that's the only explanation we can think of for it, but I don't see that as the only explanation.
So, Suresh, can you explain to me, like, for example, the many people, Christian, for example, they claim that, the incident of the kids in Fatima saw the sun stop, and therefore, flesh version is real because, and not just 3 kids, but like the whole village saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, like, those people live in the same proximities and they share the same belief, essentially. So, if we can say they have mass hallucination, I can understand. But if people, they don't know each other and they live far apart and they don't have anything in common with each other to some god, and then somehow they share the same belief, the same dream or same vision of the same deity, then do you think that at least that those people, if we say a majority of people believe in that, and they don't know anything about, they don't have anything each other, anything like they don't share a common background.
Mm-hmm.
Then how is that? So are you saying that that's still not as strong for the in terms of the belief?
I would say that it still makes it makes for an interesting conversation, but I don't think that it adds to the validity of I don't think that it adds to the validity of like an ontological god. Well, does it add validity to the individual belief, as in do they have a good reason to believe something? Like if they themselves can't come up with another explanation for why something may be the case, then yeah, they are valid in their belief. That's fine. So if the question is, does this add validity to the belief, then yeah, like that can be a good enough reason to believe in something. But if the question is, does this add to the likelihood of a god existing ontologically, I would say no. So depending on which angle you want to go with that, I feel like that answers both of the primary angles you would go with, ontological reality versus justified belief.
Okay, so if I understand you correctly, so then those people are justified with their belief, but the claim about the God is not necessarily true, right?
Yeah, it might not necessarily be true. They can be justified in the individual belief, but the ontological reality obviously isn't changed unless we're adhering to like idealism, where it can change based on that. I don't hold to that though, so I would say that ontologically, a god may or may not exist, but the fact that multiple people had a perception at the same time or at different times of a deity that is close enough in description, yeah, that can be a valid reason for believing. I just don't think that it's a valid reason to then conclude that ontologically it must be the case, personally.
Well, so thank you so much. I just have one quick follow-up, and I'll leave you for other callers. So a lot of time, where people seem to have problem, with when people say, this is true to me, and I hear many atheists say, that person is not does not have epistemic responsibility. I think that's what they say.
It's the burden of proof thing, where like if I'm not convinced of your God, I don't have an epistemic responsibility to evaluate your claim, right?
Yeah. So if all of these people, who share the same belief and they don't have anything in common with each other, and you said that they are justified for their belief, then do you think the statement that if they say this is true to me, does that mean that they are excused from the burden of justification?
So I would say that you always owe yourself a personal justification for a reason why you believe something. If your personal justification is a shared perception of a God that you share with other people who didn't have that God, then yeah, that's a justification individually. The only time the burden of proof really applies, though, is when you are trying to have a conversation with someone else and you're trying to convince them or something. You're basically taking a positive position in a dialogue. If I'm taking a positive position in a dialogue, I have a burden of proof. If you have a negative position, because obviously you don't believe my position, I have a burden of proof to substantiate my position to you. The burden of proof works a little differently when we're talking about like your epistemic justifications, your justifications to yourself.
Right.
But from what you're describing, there is an epistemic justification. There is something that has happened individually. So I think the thing is, though, is that it's a frustrating thing where there's a lot of atheists who have not grown up, but have seen a lot of like debate me bro atheist YouTube. So their idea of the burden of proof is if somebody says I believe in God, suddenly they respond with, oh yeah, prove your God to me, like some kind of aggressive where's your burden of proof type of debate me bro attitude. And that's the type of thing that I'm not a fan of personally. I'm imagining you've probably experienced that once or twice.
Well, I mean, So when I talk to atheists, that's what they told me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought understand because I guess if a person believes in something that cannot manifest in reality, then I guess the burden is stronger on that person than on others. I sort of in that position myself. So of course, I know that when I discuss with someone, I have to justify my word.
So I would say that if you're talking about something that like by its definition can't manifest in reality, then the next question to ask yourself is, well, how would I disprove something like this? If it can't manifest in reality and the only tools I have for analyzing this thing are tools within reality, how do I go about analyzing this thing that I believe? At that point, you start going, okay, well, do I actually have justification myself for believing this thing? And what you consider good justification varies from person to person. There's a popular argument on a lot of atheist YouTube that arguments aren't evidence. That's not really the case. Arguments are a form of evidence. You can consider arguments weak evidence. I consider arguments weak evidence when we're dealing with stuff like, does a God exist? Or like, does morality exist? Things like that. Arguments themselves are a type of weak evidence, but they're still evidence. You take that evidence, and you figure out if it is something that you personally feel can justify your belief, and if you feel like it can, then go with it. If you start to internalize some of that and realize that, oh wait, I don't actually have a reason for believing this, I just have circumstance A, B, and C, and I've done what the mammalian brain does best, and I've connected things together in a pattern, regardless of whether or not a pattern was actually there. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you've done, but I've seen a lot of people do that in the past, where they've taken lots of weak evidence and connected it together to build what they think is a strong case. So the best thing I can say is where that's concerned is tally out your reasons, your individual justifications for a belief, and then figure out if is this actually strong evidence, or is this just a lot of circumstantial weak evidence that feels strong when it's piled on top of itself? And then you can figure out if your beliefs are justified from there. I can't tell you if they are or not. That's a thing you've got to do internally.
I see. Well, yeah, thank you so much. So I have been your patron for a few months, and I really like the channel. So I wonder, like, do you have actually how often you go in the Discord?
How often I what?
How often will you be on Discord? Because I rarely see you there.
So I'm rarely in the Discord itself, mainly because I'm trying to work on sorting out my priorities. I got in a funk for the last few months where I was sitting down doing nothing but working, and then getting to a point where I thought I was working, but I was really staring at my screen for 3 hours doing nothing. And because of that, I've not been keeping up with all of my social media the way I should, which basically means I've been keeping up with Twitter and only Twitter, and holy shit, Twitter's a toxic place, and I shouldn't be doing that. So I'm going to make an effort on being on my own Discord more. It's just going to take me a little time to adjust to trying to do that actively. At most, I can say I'll try to be there for a good half hour or so every day consistently, but again, that's something that I may not be able to do immediately as I'm trying to adjust to that.
Yeah, that's fine. I understand. Yeah, you have your work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Suris. Hopefully I can talk to you again.
Sure thing. And hey, thanks for being a patron for so long. It means a lot. I think the first time we chatted was on Truth Wanted with Dan.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, it was good talking to you again, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. All right.
Thank you, Suris. See you.
You as well. All right. Then we got time for about 2 or 3 more callers, but before we get into that, I did notice a couple things that I did not catch before. First of all, we had a $65 super chat from Ekum Bokum, Banjo-Kazooie fan. I can tell that from the name. Thank you very much for the $65 donation. That is massive and incredibly helpful, so thank you. Though there was no message attached to it, which saddens me. Usually I like reading the messages out loud. We also have a $10 super chat from Jeffrey Altman. So thank you very much for the $10 super chat, Jeffrey. And let me check that and see if there was context. The only context was a GIF saying thank you. I should be the one thanking you, though. Like, realistically, I'm the one that I need to thank. Or you're the one I need to thank. I'm the one who should be thanking you, because that's $10 that goes towards my bills, and I like having a house on my head. Also, Madoka Star Punch in the Discord chat has said, what order is he deciding people go in? Here's the order. Here's how I'm deciding. Literally, that. So that means the first person there, because I rolled a 1. So the first person that is in the chat is Bumblin' Bee. How's it going, Bee? Though you're deafened and muted, so it will take you a bit, I am sure.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
It just took me a second to switch from being on the stream tab to this tab.
Fair enough.
I saw you roll the dice, and then my name popped up, and I was like, "Oh God, hold on."
Yeah, no, I've been like wiggling the thing around in my hand and just picking people at random, but we've got enough people in there that I can actually do a dice roll and figure this out.
That's a valid method. Like, I was slouched back all the way on my bed with like my tablet in my hand, and I like, oh God, because my computer's all the way on the other side of the bed.
Fair enough. Well, at least you got to the computer in time.
I mainly just wanted to say, hey, I've been working on art stuff, and I just wanted to say hi and chat for a sec, see how you've been doing, because we don't chat like in person very often like this. I mean, not in person, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, over voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am doing well. If I could say something that I'm sure people in the chat have noticed before, it amazes me when I go into the fan art folder to select the fan art for an upcoming episode, how often the random selection just hits one of yours, and I'm just like, oh, Bumblin' Bee has actually made that much fan art.
Listen, sometimes I just need to draw something, and picking like a fan art thing is just like easier for my brain than conjuring something fully original.
Is that why you send me a message? You're just like, hey, Cirrus, what would your stand be?
Yes. 100% yes.
Fair enough. That makes perfect sense.
It was like, drawing is both like work for me and school for me, but it's also my stress relief. So I have to like balance which kinds of art I'm doing for myself and make sure that I'm not making myself do work art when I'm supposed to be relaxing.
Yeah, that's a thing that I've noticed for me as well, where I'll be watching videos and realizing halfway through that, oh god, I'm supposed to be relaxing. I'm actively watching channels I hate because I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. Oof.
And like since I've started trying to be more active on Instagram, it's just gotten a little bit worse because instead of drawing JoJo art for fun, I'm doing it to try and get more followers and things like that. So I just like have to manage myself, and doing like fan art for your Discord is like it's just less work feeling.
Understandable. Though I do thank you for all the fan art submissions. Holy crap. It still amazes me. It still amazes me that I've been able to put up 3 per video and I still have not gotten through the folder. And the folder hasn't been updated in, I shit you not, 2 months.
You could probably just do like a mini video of going through art.
If you remember, I actually have done that once before.
You know, I feel like now that you say that, I remember that, but I did not remember that until
hold on.
then.
Here, I'll pop it in to the Discord chat real quick, and I need to pause it so that I don't get copyright struck. Here we go.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yep, that was almost in about 4 or 5 months. That'll be a year ago.
Oh, jeez.
What?
It's just like realizing that I've been active in this Discord for that long.
Yeah, it's been a while. It has actually been a while.
'Cause like, I don't know, I've started college since then, and I've turned 20, and you know, it's just like a lot's happened, and you don't really realize that, especially when you're talking about like real life versus like online life, because time just feels to flow different that way.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Life gets incredibly hectic.
Mm-hmm. It's like I'm working on like 5 different art projects right now. Like some for college, and then I'm trying to start doing adoptables because I haven't gotten a new commission in a month, and some internet friends suggested that as a way to get income. So I just have like 5 uncompleted files just like floating around me.
Yeah, I can't think of the amount of times that I've had an idea for a video and it's been in various stages of production, and I just every time I'm just like, I need to go back and finish this thing, but I really don't want to.
Yeah, I have so many half-finished like JoJo files because I watched the most recent Star Wars video a couple days ago, or like a week ago now, and so now Marine's like, let's draw Jedi JoJo characters, and then I forgot that lightsabers glow, so I'm spending way too long on them because lighting.
Are you trying to do them physically or digitally?
Digitally, but I'm still spending so much time on it. I think this one, like, it's a chibi too, so it's like this chibi-esque Giorno I've spent like 12 hours on, and I'm not finished.
Jesus.
And then, like, I have school art, so I'm doing like I'm doing a couple like long effort pieces for college because I've started taking more college classes. And then I'm also trying to keep up with Instagram, and I'm also trying to do art that like, it's like I want to post like easy doodles on Instagram, but I also want to get more commissions, and you have to put in effort to your drawings to make them appealing for commissions.
Yep, because when you're doing art for yourself, you can stop it whenever you're comfortable, but when you're doing art for somebody else, there's always that thought in the back of your head that it's not good enough.
I had, like... So, I mentioned that I'm trying to do adoptables for the first time. But, like, I had to make one of my internet friends tell me to shut up and, like, just turn it digital and start coloring it, because I have, like, 30 different character sketches, like, on the floor of my bedroom right now. And I had to get, like, other friends to, like, no, these are okay. You can finish them. It'll be fine.
Yeah, the amount of self-coaxing you end up having to do. That said, we do have time for 2 more people, and I am going to have to swap around. But I do thank you for hopping on, B.
Yeah, have a good day. See you whenever.
I will try my best to. All right. Now let's see what the dice roll lands on. We don't have 17 people in there. That is 9, but we've already had a chat with Sarah Obscura, so we are going to instead pull down Madoka Star Punch. Because that is the name directly adjacent. Because
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. So, I don't know exactly what this stream is open to talking about. Is it just basically anything?
So we got about 5 minutes, and whatever you want to talk about, you can drop it down, and we will have a chat about that, as long as it's within reason.
Has the Onision drama been covered yet?
Not on...
aspects.
It has not been covered on this stream, and I have not touched it on my channel, mainly because that's not generally the purpose of my channel. But since we're here... we can have the conversation if you want.
Well, it's too long of a thing to go into for just 5 minutes, but I did want to point out that, like,
it's
to anyone
so
that
hilarious.
Oh, it is. It's fucking amazing. Dude walked into court looking like he was getting ready for a middle school talent show in a big city.
Yeah, he walked in and just like
vest and fucking Adidas under his wedding suit. Like, come on, man.
I saw the Repsion video about when he went to court. Dude sued the wrong Chris Hansen. How do you do that?
Just how does he still exist? His entire fucking existence right now is an enigma. It's hilarious.
Like, it's Onision, where finances are concerned, is
it's all the backlogged views. It's all the views he's getting on his old videos now because people are getting invested in the drama because some of those are so monetized and he's making bank off of them.
Oh yeah, like I'm like actually, you know what? We're gonna do a thing. He's got multiple channels, but
he does, yeah, and just all the fun's going on. But the one thing I really wanted to point out was that I've only seen 1 or 2 other YouTubers. I am not a YouTuber myself, but I've seen a couple other people comment on it. Is in the 911 call, he has a tone to his voice that you don't see in any of his other videos unless he's like telling about how he was wrong. He has this sort of like whine and soft tilt to his voice. And it's like, they're yelling things through my door, you know. It's just like, fucking, what a scumfuck, man. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, it's like, there's a thing that you do when you're that type of person. I don't know if this is what Onision's doing, but I would not put it past him. He's the type of person who, before he has a cry, as an example, he strategically would place himself in front of who he wants to most affect with that cry.
Oh, for sure. I don't doubt it because he's logically driven, but he doesn't have a moral compass other than serving himself. That's the problem.
Yes, and
a person can be completely logically driven, but if their morals are fucked, you just have Onion Boy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's not been a stage of this where I couldn't say that he didn't realize what he was doing. Now, did he realize the ramifications and everything? Maybe not, but the actual...
I hope he's starting to.
The actual things he's doing? Like when you threaten somebody with legal action, for instance, the idea is that I'm the big YouTuber, they're going to back down. They're going to be little bitches. And then suddenly they actually appear in court and you have to dismiss yourself because you realize that somebody called your fucking bluff.
Just the way... not only did they call his bluff, but he made himself look even worse by walking in like he did. It's hilarious.
Yeah, dude did not actually.
Because I have experience with sort of like maybe not the same level of abuse, but I've lived through a just whole load of shit. I've been up and down Shit Creek too many times to count without a paddle, and I can see what this dude's doing a lot of the times as an outside observer, like the manipulation he's doing. I can fucking laser in on it.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that like you get kind of terrified. Because when somebody like Onision does stuff like that, and somebody who legitimately might need help, right, comes along, and people a lot of times will be less likely to help them because they see Onision and they go, this is why we don't help people like you. Like, as an example,
I thought you were going a different direction with that. I thought you were going to say something along the lines of they'll go to him for advice, and then it'll just end up fucking him sideways even further.
Well, that's obviously a problem as well. But my issue is that when you like typecast somebody in your head, where like you have the idea, like let's say that your first exposure to a quote unquote feminist was Onision. That was your first exposure to somebody who labeled themselves as a feminist.
He's a feminist. You say, what? Come on now.
According to him...
You might have said that at one point, but that man is the farthest thing from a feminist on either the good or the bad that I can think of,
But, like, let's also say, I know that he's an atheist. Though some of his recent videos...
And then Seseska, well, he is, but he isn't, and it's like, man's a walking pile of contradictions.
It's where you go, well, if your first exposure to this type of person was Onision, any type of person was Onision, and that colored your view going forward, like, let's say that's the first big YouTuber you got to watch. What's your perception of YouTubers going to be now?
God, well, I'm trying to remember what mine was. He was in there when I was like 8 or 9, early watching YouTube. I remember watching a couple of his videos, and I think it was his like web dives and being judgmental, and I just ended up losing interest in going to watch like Tobuscus or some shit.
Screw it. Took off all of Geralt to armor. The last save point was before
What just happened?
So I was saying Yennefer.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay, there's someone on your end talking.
So you just appeared in front of Yennefer naked. Okay, that makes sense.
What's going on here? I'm confused.
Aaron came to let me know what was happening in their last save on Witcher, and apparently they stripped naked before dying, so they appeared next to the main character's love interest, stark naked, at the save point.
Well, hello there.
Which General Yennefer. Oh my god.
Tell me you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it's like...
All I'm going to say is that Geralt's the type of person who doesn't need to do that in order to get laid with Yennefer.
Yeah, I didn't end up playing much of The Witcher. I played some of the second one. I need to go through and finish all of them.
However, Koma, you come to see your love interest. You haven't seen in like 7 years. They're naked. You.
No suit like a birthday suit?
And they're covered in blood.
Yeah, no suit like a birthday suit. That's literally how you come out. The proper birthday suit, naked and covered in blood.
Oh dear.
Oh my god. All right. Well, that said, Madoka, I have enjoyed having the conversation with you thus far.
Can I ask one last thing real quick before you boot me off?
Sure, go ahead.
I'm actually kind of in a shitty situation as a result of abuse, because my mother was a malignant narcissist that I ended up getting in a whole spat with, and I'm now like basically across the country from my home state, with staying with friends and trying to rebuild my life. And I've like started a GoFundMe to try and recoup costs because of details that are in the GoFundMe. Would you be alright with me DMing you that and just kind of, would you do anything with that, or is that not what you're up for?
So I can definitely take the GoFundMe and I can plug it into the stream currently.
Yeah, that'll work. Hold on.
That's a thing I can do, and I can definitely also like shout it out on places like Twitter.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just trying to recoup my losses because I'm now on my roommate's computer doing art, because I'm an amateur artist too. Although it's a very secluded part of the furry fandom, so I don't tend to do public commissions.
No, and that's fair enough, and that can also make it harder to actually get commissions. And so tell you what, the best thing we can probably do there, send me the GoFundMe itself, and then also...
I'm logging in right now to get it to you. Hold on a moment.
And then also the other thing you can do is send me your like art portfolio, or where people can get commissions from you.
It would be here on Discord or like, yeah, basically just here on Discord because all my pages are, like I said, secluded in that one part of the community. So
okay, I will get in contact with somebody who does a lot of work for the furry community, and I will see if they could offer any advice for getting you some more actual.
There it is. I just put it in the. I just put it in the general. So.
All right.
You can take a look through, read through that later, or anyone else that's watching could. And it's just, I'm trying right now to basically just get a computer and get a little workstation where I can set up until I can get disability to work through my issues because I've got a whole host of mental issues I'm trying to work through.
So that GoFundMe that link doesn't actually take me to a page.
Wait, does it not? Hold on.
No, it just takes me to a GoFundMe/campaigns page.
Hold on a moment. Let me try this. Oh, it's because it was under manage because I was a dumbass. This one should. There we go. That's the one we needed.
There you go. There's the right one.
Yeah. That fun fact. That screenshot. That picture is actually a screenshot from Forza Horizon 4. I do paint jobs in that.
Okay.
For fun.
Also, Bumblin' Bee said in the main chat, tell the caller to join furry servers. I'm imagining furry Discord servers.
Oh yeah, I'm in plenty of them, but like I said, it's a certain subset that most normal people wouldn't understand or look kindly upon. So I just kind of, ixnay on that.
Fair enough. Well, send me whatever relevant information you need to on that, and I can see if we can get something going there.
There we go, and it's sent directly to your DMs too, because I apparently have the ability to do that now.
Alrighty.
Oh, also, I found you through, I believe it was either recommendations after watching a bunch of Telltale stuff or from a collab you did with them. I can't remember which.
Mm-hmm.
So, just letting you know where I came from.
Hey, fair enough. That would explain the furry part. I'm kidding. I've learned that if somebody discovers me through Telltale's community, the likelihood that they are a furry goes up significantly.
No shit. That's interesting.
Yeah, the first shout out that I ever got was from Telltale after my first collaboration, which was with Prophet Abzad. After that first shout out, I gained 400 subscribers.
Is that the dude with the like static covering his face? Oh yeah, I've seen a couple of his videos too. He's cool.
But after Telltale gave me my first shout out, because I had an audience of 300 people. And then after Telltale gave me my shout out, I gained 400 subscribers in a handful of days.
And they were just like, oh shit, workload's about to go up.
My fan base effectively became more furries than non-furries within 3 days.
And they're like, I'm not sure how to feel about this.
All right. That said, I have enjoyed the conversation, and we have one more dice roll to go.
All right, thank you, man. Have fun. Best of luck.
You as well. All right, we have one more dice roll, and then that'll be the end of the stream. 2. Alrighty. That means we have Crazy Neko Girl. We will need a unmuting and undeafening so that we can have conversation. How's it going, Neko?
Hello.
Hey, it's been a while.
1 second. Oh no.
What happened?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Don't know which one I need to mute.
Well, I can hear you just fine.
I'm getting echoes from... 1 second. No, that's it. Shush, Jesse. Anyway, hi.
Hey, how's it going, Neko? How's your day?
Well, I just wanted to sit here talk with you for a couple minutes, since I'm here.
Sure thing. Hey, you're the last caller in. At least that's what the god of spin down dice has determined.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is anything new? We haven't actually chatted over voice in I
know.
I want to say about 2 months or so.
Forever. Yeah. No, I just well, first off, I've invented gugging.
You said you what?
Gugging. Gugging. It's
gugging.
It's hug, but with a G. I kept writing that when I was hugging people.
Oh, and it just stuck.
Ignitions plugged it, and now it's a thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. The
So
amount
thing.
the amount of things that people have used as like words and acronyms and stuff like that based off of a mistype alone, like pwned instead of owned or bay instead of babe, all just because you forgot a letter or a letter got shoved in there that wasn't supposed to be in there. It
Or like
happens
me
all
and
the
just
time.
Have something that does it anyway. I've done that. I've caused Aaron and Raz to do the Paul and Morgan thing. Cringe. Yeah. That's what I did.
So now I know who to blame for the sounds.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was wondering actually. Well, I've tried to actually explain your relationship to my sister.
Mhm.
She refuses to understand. She's not. I tried to explain it in every way I can think of possible. It's like I don't understand. Like
It's
I
like-
can show you a video that explains it very well, and it's like, no, that's okay.
It's like having a monogamous relationship, except there's 3.
I've explained that.
Add-
Honestly, it just goes
Like-
right over her head. No, I was actually wondering, what games are you excited for in the year of 2012 or 2020? Oh my
only one right now, and that is the Resident Evil 3 remake that's coming out here in a
That's-
few months. That's the one.
April, I think, is coming out.
Yep.
And that's also when Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out, and that's what I'm really excited for because my sister's paying for it, and she actually sprung the 80 and got me the deluxe version. Which, if you get the physical version of that, you get a sweet Shinon employee pin, like a really made one, like plastic.
Well, I can't afford to get any special editions ones with pins or anything like that, which makes me sad. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I'm just going to be enjoying the standard game when it comes out. I'm trying on my video game streams to work my way towards getting to the actual Resident Evil 3 remake release-wise. But so far, I'm in Resident Evil 2 right now, the non-remake version, just
Right.
slowly working my way through it.
Yeah, I keep trying to get to those, and I keep missing them. This is like, I was like, dang, he screamed I was sleeping.
Hmm.
And I actually have to call welfare tomorrow because I don't want to call them because they make you feel about 3 inches tall.
It's amazing how much our social services
Yes.
require us to like. I don't know if there's a better word for it besides prostrate ourselves whenever we're trying to deal with them. It really
It's
sucks.
ridiculous. I have to do it if I want to keep my food stamps and if I want to keep my right now that, and if I want to keep my husband's healthcare since he's not on mine because they changed.
Yeah.
He all his biggest basic stuff at least is covered, so that's good. Yay for things. But
Yeah.
yes, considering how you're alright, they make you jump through hoops. I
Yeah.
know how hard it was to get on Medicaid. It was really hard. It took 4 months of me going to the hospital. Almost dying because I had pneumonia. Which is not a fun time. Anybody, if you never had pneumonia, pray you never get it.
Yeah,
Pray or ask, whatever. Hope you'll get it. It's not fun.
It is not, though. The last thing I had mainly was whatchamacallit. Last thing I had mainly was the flu, but the flu that I had required steroid shots in the anus, which was not fun. And I found out that the family member who caught the flu at the same time I did, who was the same age as me at the time, went to the doctor one day after I did, but they didn't make it. They died. The strain of flu that we had apparently makes your entire system go septic after
Can you
a certain
get flu
amount.
shots?
I can get flu shots, but if memory serves. Oh wow, that fell. If memory serves, that year the strain that I suffered from was one that the flu shot itself didn't cover.
Oh, I see. Oh, thank you, Katsuni. That's very sweet of you. I always think I sound like a little kid, but thank you. That's very sweet. Also, I will be watching your video after the stream's over, so I'm keeping up on them.
Gotcha.
But thank you for talking with me. It's like, it's okay. We just talk for a couple minutes.
Yep.
So I always like to, say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm Neko. If you don't know.
But if you're in the primary Discord server, you know Neko. There's even a rule in the server specifically for going, hey, there's a person in the server. They type like this.
Yeah, my typing's not great.
We defend Neko though. You do not say anything about it.
I'm not above I'm not gonna go, no, you can't repeat because I'm a person. I'm actually really, really nice. If you just say, hey, I didn't understand you, mind repeating that? I'll go, yeah, sure, no, I will write it down, I will still check everything, and it takes me a couple minutes, but I will get the message across. So, thank you, and everybody has a great, great night. Now, if you didn't get to talk to Soros, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm going to try to have these call-in streams a little more often now.
Cool.
Mainly,
we can talk more.
Yeah, mainly because it's hard for me to think of content that I want to do live-wise, but using my live time to spend time with my audience, that is a little easier to manage. And it also helps because then I get to actually spend time with my audience there. And my best friend will continue to be these dice, because then I can use these for figuring out who and where and what chats are happening.
One last thing, you may have missed it. My husband, Hastar, he didn't insult you, but he said that you're a handsome man with a growing fan base, and that's basically it. So you have a guy who thinks you're a handsome man who says you have a great growing fan base.
Hey, awesome.
That was him going blah.
Well, that all said, thank you for hopping in, Neko. And
yeah, no problem.
Now I gotta close out the stream, but I have enjoyed having a chat.
Yep.
Oz also just said if you fuck with Neko, you fuck with me, and you don't want to fuck with me. So that is the great and powerful Oz.
Thank you, Oz. That's sweet. And everybody else who said, Neko Protection Squad, I love you.
Yup. Alrighty. Popping over there. Alright, so we got maybe a minute or two left before I hop out. If I wasn't able to get to you in the chat, I'm sorry for that. But your fates are decided by these things here. So, not the best thing, but also it is a fair thing. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed chatting, and I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with Raz, Aaron, and Emmett for a little bit when I had to go take care of the pupper. That said, I want to thank everybody who donated, everybody who followed during the course of this, and Jen Dragon Queen as well for subscribing with Twitch Prime, and the donations that we got during the course of the stream. You guys are, like, literally the reason that I'm able to do any of this. So, thank you for that, and I will see you all later. There we go. I will look you in the eyes when I say I'll see you. I just had to go find my end screen button. I'm sorry, it's on the